Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Playing some Legacy here with a Mishra's Bauble, couple of Urza's Bauble, Karakas. Dustin just dumping his hand versus Billy on this Eldrazi Menace. It's going to be an Eldrazi deck. And we see Thought-Knot Seer, which doesn't really clue us in terms of how low to the ground his build is. Some of these are like ridiculously low to the ground, and some of them go way over the top. Sometimes you're talking about Eldrazi Mimics coming in off of like Eye of Ugin, just spamming the board and then jamming a Thought-Knot Seer or Reality Smasher, preferably, and getting through a crazy amount of damage. Did have an incorrect tournament ruling last year regarding whether or not you know that your opponent sees a card off of Urza's Bauble. You do. You do know what cards are in your hand at all time, and you always know what card your opponent gets to see when they take a look at your hand. We have Mox Opal, and now 3 mana, City of Traders plus Karakas. Nope, okay, we've got a LED first. 4 mana into a Stonecoil Serpent at 4. That's going to outclass this Eldrazi Mimic for now. Alright, skipping over the technical difficulties there. A Thought-Knot Seer does make the Mimic big enough to trade with a Stonecoil. Dustin gonna decline that trade for now. It can potentially hold back a Mimic later, or could just trade with the Thought-Knot Seer. In the coming turns, a Mishra's Bauble. And he's going to go ahead and start moving forward with his mana base now. Grabbing a Tundra, City of Traders. I mean, it does have an actual drawback, and it can be navigated incorrectly. You can definitely make errors with City of Traders in terms of how to play it. We'll see if Dustin's playing this optimally as this unfolds. I'm a little concerned about the Wasteland situation. He's kind of all in. Wasteland could be very bad for him. And Gyruda. Are we a mana shy? Looks like 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8. We've got a Gyruda coming down, and perhaps whiffing? Or is this token going to be... Oh, an Eldrazi Mimic. Oh, and Billy's scooping it up here. Actually scooping it up to the pretty awesome art on Gyruda. Bomberman's got a lot of tools. Sometimes it just gets there with a big body, as we're on to the next game. Alright, so the 6/6 body there, too much for Billy in game 1. Not wanting to waste too much time, and leads out pretty strong here. Chalice at 0 and a Thorn of Amethyst. That's going to shut off a lot of Dustin's deck. We'll see if he has any answers. Cavern of Souls. That was a City of Traders that enabled Billy to do that. Eye of Ugin into a Endless One. Things looking pretty good here for Billy. Eldrazi Temple, so he effectively has, like, kind of 4 mana. Eldrazi Temple reducing the cost of his Eldrazi by 2. Meaning that, in theory, it's kind of better than 4 mana in a lot of regards, because you can get, like, double Eldrazi Mimics. Though, at this point, Billy is out of not out of gas. He's not going to be drawing into multiple mimics at the same time in all likelihood. Pretty much going to be drawing a card a turn and committing whatever he can to the board. Seat of the Synod for Dustin. And a Walking Ballista. He's got a bunch of these cool Godzilla variants. We've got the Gyruda, and Mecha Godzilla, I think it is, here for the Walking Ballista. And he is just stepping in front of a bus, as we've got the Endless one as a 4/4 Reality Smasher, swinging in for 5 with Trample Haste. And this game may be practically over before it started, as that came out swinging. That Chalice at 0 and the Thorn, just too much. And now plenty of time for Game 3. Really, it seems like Billy's tournament management probably gives him the best chance here. If you drag out that first game and you start Game 3 with just a little bit of time, Bomberman can definitely win in turns. Eldrazi is much less likely to do that. Even though it can go quickly, it often requires more than 3 turns to kill your opponent. Whereas Bomberman can legitimately just kill you on the first turn. Infinite mana into a Walking Ballista. And Dustin considering his sideboarding options, as he will have the play here. Yeah, the companion mechanic, I don't know, I feel like they should just, first off, unban Lurrus from Vintage. He seems fine if you have to pay 3 mana for him. What a debacle that all was. Total disaster. I don't really mind it that much. Like, I don't know, I don't think mistakes are as big a deal as people think they are from home. Like, Wizards making mistakes, I think, is okay. I think they need to be trying things. I think they do need to make mistakes every once in a while, because they're trying things that are up to the line and just occasionally over it. And I think we just need to roll with it. I think probably the 3 mana additional cost to get the card into your hand is enough to really neuter most of these companions. And at this point, I think Lurrus probably should just get unbanned in Vintage. It's really not that big a deal. Costing 6 mana. Paying 3 to get him in there. I mean, yeah, it seems like it's probably totally fine. I could be wrong, though. I didn't actually play during the Companion era because it was so obviously ridiculous. Now we've got a Leyline of the Void from Billy. Yeah, let me know if you think that Lurrus would be safe to come off that banned list. I do like to see the most minimal banned restricted list as possible when we're talking about Vintage and Legacy. Though we got a little bit of a scare last night. The Secret Lair Walking Dead cards on the Gatherer, as of this morning, are listed as not being legal in any format, similar to Grimlock and the My Little Pony cards. Scryfall does have them listed as playable in Vintage, Legacy, and Commander. Wasteland setting Dustin back. Chalice at 0 and Leyline of the Void. We had some nice cards on camera. Those masterpieces are not easy to come by. Got a nice selection of them right now, actually. I think I have a full playset of Ensnaring Bridges, which is nice for someone who's going to be trying to get those all in one go. That's not an easy thing to do. Be 4 damage coming across from Endless One. Dustin is really restrained right now in terms of his options. The Leyline going to stop the Bomberman kill. The Chalice at 0 also stops that, but prevents a lot of the other cards from even functioning. So, and it looks like there's the Salvagers. Needs like a hull breach. That is not likely. Rushing River kicked. It's a handful of cards that'll actually be helpful here. Eldrazi Mimic hoping for another big body to come down. Wasteland takes out the Ancient Tomb. And Matter Reshaper does grow the Mimic. Oh, and it's only a 2-power Endless one. I don't know why I was thinking it was 4. So, well, Salvager's actually pretty solid here, holding off a whole team of small butt creatures. That 2/4 looking pretty fierce. I mean, you go ahead and block this. We'll see what it turns into. No, he's actually going to take the damage. I think I probably would have blocked. Yeah, let me know about that decision. At some point, you're going to have to start blocking. This life total evaporating, not really providing much of an advantage. Stone Coil Serpent at 3. And taking the damage again. I am very surprised at this line. Just not allowing that Matter Reshaper to cash into something else. He plays a Lotus Petal into the Chalice. The Chalice check is caught by Billy. Ancient Tomb, and at this point Billy has just a ton of mana. I mean, yeah, I can't even think of a reason to not block him at this point. Elvish Spirit Guide going to Billy's hand. Not castable, but it will potentially help him power out multiple threats in a turn. Or if he gets to the point where he's like hard casting a giant Eldrazi, though we haven't seen that out of his list yet. This does seem to be that lower to the ground build, similar to when Eldrazi first broke onto the scene for Legacy. Elvish Spirit Guide being used to cast the Matter Reshaper. And everything comes crashing in, and Dustin now. I don't know if those earlier non-blocks on the Matter Reshaper were the difference. It feels like it may have been, as Billy's able to push through lethal. Now, he would have been able to attack with that Reality Smasher either way, forcing at least a trade. But Eldrazi Menace bringing some hate and stopping Bomberman from doing what it does. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.